Hello, everyone. Welcome to the couch. It's been a minute since. Well, I think we're in chairs again. We're in like a chair and a couch, I think. So maybe potentially again a love seat. I'm not too sure. But it has been quite a minute since Eric and I have been on the same screen.
Crazy schedules, here and there.
I know, it's so wild, but we're really happy to be back together on the screen. And yeah, so thank you for watching tonight.
Yes.
First and foremost, we have a couple announcements. For one, congratulations on all starting and going back to school. We know it's been a really, really hectic time and it's going to be quite an adjustment period. So I hope you all are doing well, you're doing okay, and you are conquering and taking on life. Second, we have finally announced that we have chosen our Youth Ambassador Board for the 2021-2022 school year when we have an executive board attached to it. So you can head on over to our social media channels to kind of see who is on the board and what's up for the next year. So I'm so excited. They're an absolutely fantastic group of students, and Again, we have been so blessed that the last 2 years we've had fantastic, amazing, and dedicated students to Herren Project. So, go in, drop a comment for congratulations. And if you have, if you want to, oh wow, that is so funny. Someone just commented on the post.
They were legitimately.
I did that. So yeah, go do that. And third, we have also chosen our sticker design for the Herren Project Clubs from the 2021 sticker design contest. It's an absolutely amazing sticker. So you can go to our social media channels and check out the winning design for that. So thank you to all who submitted, and thank you to all who applied to be Youth Ambassador. And thank you all for who are continuing to bring an active club and get your clubs back up and going. Again, if you need any help, you can contact us here at Herren Project.
Yeah, I'm excited. 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks. We'll be starting kind of, you could say, TED Talk style talks that I'll be giving virtually. Yeah. I think that maybe 25-minute talks. So on the pillars, decision making, stress management,
self-care.
Yeah. So
decision making. I love that.
Yeah. So it's starting on October 7th, Thursday. It's gonna be the first Thursday. I want to say it's like every other month. So it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Congratulations. So again, you can kind of keep an eye out for that to see what will be going on with that, and to hear or see Eric talk or watch the recordings when we get them. So great. So keeping your eyes peeled for that. But other than that, I think that's all we have for announcements right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Eric, is there anything you want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just I guess you could say, the adjustment period, you could say, in life, right? Kind of just the adjustment that we've all been going through from, but from summer to school, and just how everyone's feeling, how everyone's doing, because I know a lot of people have been in school now for a few weeks, right? And how that routine's going, right? I think a big thing's routine, right? And so where maybe it's important that I know you had been on, was it 2 sessions ago, talking about
the beginning of school?
Yes, the beginning of school. So now I feel like, it's okay, so we're in school for a few weeks now, right? What's our routine, right? What are we looking at our routine? Where can we maybe, do a little better here, or where are we struggling here, and what can we do? Who could we talk to, right? Because it's kind of like, okay, the build up to go to school, but now we're actually in it. Now we're actually going through it, and just taking a step back for a second, really looking at everything.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm really glad you brought that up, because I think one thing I've noticed about going back to school fully in person, I have the gracious opportunity to be able to do so, is I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm kind of in this thing where I'm like, people are too close to me. You know what I mean? So if you know what I mean? I'm like, can you stay
Yeah.
Like, can you just move over on the sidewalk? And I think that's something that we're all gonna really start noticing is that we're getting back into the swing of a full day schedule, which we haven't been in a year and a half. And
Yeah.
we're gonna start noticing that we're more exhausted, we're tired, and we need to follow up with self-care. We need to make sure we're getting enough sleep. We need to make sure that we're eating to give ourselves energy. We need to make sure that we're hydrating.
Right.
And again, that you're making time for the things you love, for your schoolwork, for extracurriculars, for social time, for you time, for family time. That sounds like a lot, and you're like, Izzy, that's not easy. It's not easy.
No,
Um, and unfortunately, if it was any easier, I think we would all be happy go lucky right now.
for sure.
But it's also, I think with that, it's really, really important that you're staying mentally aware. Something that I found very interesting, which I thought would be cool to share, is like we all continue to drive when we see our check engine light pop up on our car. But when our check engine light comes on in our bodies, I just died. Oh my goodness. I'm not sick, guys. Okay.
Wow.
But when our check engine light comes on in our bodies, we also don't do a single thing.
Yeah.
We just keep going. Like instead of us taking a break at the half tank, we're taking a break when we're on E.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be doing that. We should be taking a break halfway when we know that we're getting a little low, when we know that our social battery's halfway out, when we notice that we're really, really tired, or that we're very overwhelmed and we're stressed and we're maybe snapping at people or we're having a lot of breakdowns. You know what I mean? Like we need to really, really make sure we're staying present with ourselves, which is nowhere near as easy as I'm saying it is because I've struggled with it too. And make sure we're taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. Definitely. Quick, you mentioned we've talked a decent amount on this podcast about the past year and a half, everything that's happened, right? And in the past year and a half, we've created habits, right? And we've been in this motion of these habits in this way of life. And it just keeps changing, right? So now a lot of people are in school fully. Not everybody. I know some people maybe still be hybrid around the world. So I think a great point that you brought up that I definitely want to double down on is to be present, right? To realize, just take a step back for a second, really take that mental body check. No, I'm tired. I'm exhausted today, right? And so it's okay to just relax, right? To take it easy because a lot's been going on, a lot of different changes in our life, in the world, and how we're living. We're asked to do different things this school year than we were last school year, and it's affecting us differently, right? We maybe have to start doing a little bit more of something that we weren't doing as much. I mean, a lot of people I can't think of the freaking word. Hold on. So a lot of people were virtual and maybe they were much more relaxed, right? And maybe they weren't paying attention as much in class. But now that we're in class and we have teachers there, we have to pay attention a little bit more. And that might take a little bit of getting actually used to, right? Getting back into that in-person engagement like we didn't have last year. I mean, Izzy, I'm not in school, so I can't talk to this, but maybe you can talk on that for a sec because you are back in school, as you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, like you were saying, that there's a lot of habits that I've had to break.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of things I've had to get back into the swing to. Driving there every single day. Now there's extracurriculars. Extracurriculars are now in person, so I'm there for longer hours than I anticipated. Also the social engagement. I find myself sometimes to still be a little hesitant. I also find myself to be drained a lot easier. And that's because I'm kind of used to sticking to my main core people, and I haven't been able to really make friends being a commuter. It's been a little tough. So there's two aspects to that. You might be struggling because you haven't been able to make friends, or you're struggling because now you're a lot more social than you are probably used to being over the last year. Again, a habit takes 20 days to create, 60 to break. And it's probably a lot. Either way, you're overwhelmed. And I've had those days where I'm really, really excited to talk to people, but by the first or two, like second hour in, my social battery's down. Or like by the end of the day, like I have a headache and I'm ready to go to bed. I'm ready to decompress and I'm ready to just take my time and just take it. You know what I mean? So, and that's something I found myself is I'm a lot more tired from social interactions, and I'm there at school all day long, and there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of me answering questions, and there's a lot of taking notes and everything else, and it's again a lot. It's gonna take some time to readjust to, because again we have created a year and a half worth of habits where
Yeah.
we really didn't have to worry about this because again some people were hybrid, some people all of their stuff was online. Again, Zoom can be just as exhausting, but then you start to go back in person and you're like, wow, that was a lot of talking, and you're like, you didn't even talk that long, like, man, that was a lot of talking. But it's okay to recognize that, but it's also really important that we start to get back into the swing of those things because it's really important that we continue to foster positive social engagement in person, um, and that we are also taking care of ourselves, and that the world is kind of constantly always changing, and that we have to stay resilient, and we have I know probably people are probably sick of that word, and we also have to stay open to the power of change, um, and we have to kind of look towards gratitude to be able to fulfill that.
Oh, yes. Yes. That is, yeah, I love that word for sure. Definitely. Just being grateful, right, for where we are in our life right now and everything. You know what I mean? Because we can touched upon this actually in the last episode I did with the things you can control, right? But just looking at the positives in our life. You know, it's interesting. This might be going on a tangent off topic for a sec, but I remember hearing this person talk and they said, okay, I want you to look for everything blue, blue in the room, blue in the room, blue in the room. All right, close your eyes, open them. What did you see in the room that was gray? And everyone was just like, and he's like, what you look for, what you think about is what you will see, right? And so I think that you hit the nail on the head there, where just kind of gratitude and looking at what we have and being thankful for it.
Sometimes that those are the days that there's some days where we need to do that to keep
Yeah,
ourselves afloat.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
because sometimes like we just need to have something that's keeping us going. Um,
You know, I take a sorry to interrupt you, but
no,
you
you're
just
fine.
talked to me. I have a gratitude, you could say journal slash gratitude um thing that I do, a process in the morning where
I
I
love
get
that.
up and I think, okay, so yesterday, right? What am I grateful for that happened yesterday? Three things. It can be anything, right? Anything that happened. Whether I lifted a certain amount of weight in the gym or whether I was actually able to get my lift in. Just
Mhm.
anything that happened yesterday. Three things. You write them down. And it's really interesting. It's great to go back and look at the journal months, weeks earlier,
Oh,
and just look at it and just see, right? And even just going back in the journal and seeing that stuff gives you gratitude. So, yeah, I wanted to throw that out there, that's something big that I do that I think a lot of people would definitely prosper from, would definitely help them, is to take 5-6 minutes out of your morning, and even if you just think and
yeah.
write it down, think
Yeah.
of stuff you're grateful for.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's great. And I love that you're doing that, and I hope maybe other people consider doing that.
Yeah.
Um, I just have a basic journal because some days are harder than others.
Oh, for sure.
Um, you know what I mean? I think it's good, and I still think it's really good to reflect on in the morning, like what we're grateful for. But also recognizing that there's hard days. Do you know what I mean? Like there's
Oh
hard days.
yeah, no,
There's gonna
definitely.
be days that are harder than others, and sometimes it feels like the world is crashing down on us. Um, and sometimes we just at the end of the day, you want to ensure that you are not surviving, but you're thriving. Um, and by doing so is making sure you're taking breaks when needed and you're not going right to the E in your gas tank or in your tank, and that you're staying present with yourself, and you're maintaining mental awareness on when you do seem to be getting too overwhelmed or too stressed, and that you're meeting your physical needs and your mental, emotional, and all of those needs, because at the end of the day it's really important as you begin to really adjust back to a life that we've kind of been shielded from for the last year and a half. So remember to take care of yourself, practice gratitude, practice resiliency, practice self care, practice self love. Um, and yeah, do you have anything else to add?
You said it all.
Great. So thank you so much for joining our talk tonight. We hope this was helpful, and we hope that maybe you resonated with it. If you did, put something in the comments.
Yes.
Share with us if you would like to, if you're comfortable. We would love to hear more about it. And we would love to kind of maybe, like, see if you relate or if you connect with it, if topics like this help. So yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Or even,
That's awkward. Did you have something else to say?
well, I was actually even going to maybe after watching this, comment below, maybe 3 things you're grateful for, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
3 things you're grateful for, and or if you related to all of this.
There you go. Boom. All right.
Thank you. Now we'll see
Now
you.
let's say goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.